Yo, guys, Urban Barz brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And guys, today we've got a hot topic. I know for a fact a lot of people are going to get triggered on this, but guys, the truth is the truth is the truth, and we've got to be able to hear the truth and know the truth and accept the truth. So, guys, tonight we've got a special. We've got a reaction on the Tucker Carlson Tonight Show. I've never seen it before, guys. I'm from the UK, so I'm not too sure what to expect. But it's got our man Kanye West, and he's riling people left, right, and Chelsea. And it's all about this White Lives Matter debate. And guys, I'm interested in this. You know that, guys, because you know I've got my own opinions. So I'm going to listen and I'm going to watch and I'm going to make some, well, I might make some comments. I might not. I don't know. But I have to let you into a little secret, guys. We're joining it at 1 minute 55 into the show. So I'm just bashing the studio a bit. And I have to admit, I've watched about 2 or 3 minutes of this. So I'm just skipping into this. And this is the bit where our man Tucker Carlson is interviewing Kanye West. So the bit that we've not, or the bit that we won't be showing is just an introduction into this segment. But guys, it's all about Kanye West wearing and designing the White Lives Matter t-shirt, this, that, and everything else. And this is called Kanye West Exclusive. Rapper tells Tucker Carlson the story behind White Lives Matter shirt. So guys, let's get into this.
So you just came from Paris Fashion Week. You just landed, and you have a lanyard still on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy,
Not sure if you caught that, guys, but our man Kanye West said that ultrasound is a representation of life. And Kanye West said he is pro-life. So that's the first bit, guys. We just want to make certain that we hear everything clearly.
here it is. So you just came from Paris Fashion Week. You just landed, and you have a lanyard still on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, amen. I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
Absolutely. And guys, we need to look into things like Planned Parenthood. Guys, do your own research about it, make your own decisions about it. But Planned Parenthood, a lot of stuff's going on in the US targeted at black individuals. But yeah, you need to find out for yourself about that.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet.
And the reason why Tucker Carlson laughed is because Kanye just said one thing. He only answers to the man upstairs. And I've said to you people, from the very first time I came on this channel, I will never take the knee. I will not genuflect to anyone. I only answer to the man upstairs, to no person, because between me, you, and the gatepost people, we are all equal. I've always told you this. Boys, girls, women, men, whatever. We're all human beings. We're all equal. Under the eyes of God, we're all equal. There's no one better and there's no one worse. And if we have that in our mindset, then this would be a better place, people. Trust me on that. I just want to wheel this back again just before we go into the White Lives Matter bit.
About the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion.
So just to reiterate what Kanye West said. So 50% of black deaths in America are as a result of abortion. So I'm not going to comment on the yay or the nay side of it, but it's just a figure and a fact, just to let that sink into your heads, guys.
So I really don't care about people's responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet. How? When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
Hmm.
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office and I liked him.
Yes.
And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends slash handlers around me, told me, like, if I...
That's really funny that Kanye West has said friends slash handlers. So there's a lot of people, I'm not going to say too much, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know. Just put it that way, people. And yeah, 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 that's interesting. So Kanye West was saying his friends slash handlers. Really? Guys. So what Kanye West is saying is that when I remember this actually quite vividly, when Donald Trump announced he was going to run, I actually remember literally even before he put his hat into the ring. At first, people were just laughing and smiling and whatever, sneering, etc., because they thought Donald Trump wasn't a threat at all in running for the advocacy of the Republican Party. So this was way before he even became and ran, one-on-one for the presidency with Hillary Clinton. So I remember, and it was weird because I only knew Donald Trump from watching him on, what's that? No, not I'm a Celebrity. What am I talking about? On what's 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 the thing called now? Really, my mind has gone totally. Ah, but you know the program I'm talking about where they are celebrities, but they actually run in to be the project manager and to be the best in class at being a project manager. Guys, I'm so sorry, I've forgotten what that thing's called. Really? But you know what I'm talking about, guys. And he seemed to be quite a level-headed person in that. And then from Trump throwing his hat into the ring and then beating one and then another and then another and then another of the Republican fellow candidates, his rivals, and suddenly becoming front runner, he turned from a figure of fun to a figure of vitriol. There was an absolute hatred toward Donald Trump, which I found was quite strange because up until that point, he hadn't had that at all. He was actually, I don't know, there wasn't too much bad things said about Trump in the press, or not that I'd heard of. And then once he went onto the campaign with Hillary Clinton, it was disgusting, people. I mean, whether you agree or disagree with his politics, it became extremely personal extremely quickly, and the vitriol was awful. And then, literally, as he became the president, they turned it up even more. It was the worst and the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I mean, the attacks on a fellow human being, whether you agree with their politics or not, was just not right, people. It was awful. It was awful. And I think a lesser person than Donald Trump could have succumbed to it. It was just horrendous. And what him and his family had to put up with was awful. But guys, I'm digressing on that. I'm just giving you my opinion. I mean, whether you support Donald Trump or you don't support Donald Trump, is it right to be so vicious towards an individual? So vicious. It was awful. We're human beings at the end of the day, people. There's a right way and a wrong way. So the right way is to debate someone. The wrong way is to absolutely tear someone down. And it was non-stop on every single news program. And the news channels are meant to be, I thought they were meant to be. Today, I'm so sorry. I just cannot think of anything. My mind is gone. But, I thought they're meant to be impartial, but there was no impartiality at all. And then on talk shows, on comedy shows, on every single show, it was awful. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. And literally, what it's designed to do is it was designed, in my opinion, to put a wedge in between people. It's always that divide and rule, divide and rule, divide and rule. And some people, like myself, just not having it. when I see stuff like that, I tend to look behind the scenes in the audit trail. Why are you trying to do this? Why is there such a vitriol towards certain people? Why? What are you hiding? What's the real reason? What's the real narrative? Anyway, guys, I'm not going to say another word because this is all about White Lives Matter. I've talked a lot about Donald Trump, and I think it's important to talk about Trump because whether you like him, hate him, despise him, or are indifferent to him, you have to acknowledge the fact that I feel he wasn't given a chance when he came into office. And whether you think his actions were right or wrong, etc., even before he'd signed up and sworn an oath to become the US president, the viciousness was there. It was horrendous. It really was bad.
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office and I liked him.
Yes.
And every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends slash handlers around me told me, like, if I said that I like Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They put my life.
So people get killed for wearing a hat that says "Make America Great Again." Guys, ever since I started doing this channel, I've always said, and I will go to my grave saying this, that no matter where you are born, no matter where you're from, you should be proud. If you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, if you were born in the gutter, if you were born in Timbuktu, if you were born in Albuquerque, if you were born in Venezuela, Caracas, Venezuela, if you were born in Bogota, in Colombia, no matter where you were born, was it in Chile? I don't know. I can't remember. Sorry, guys. But no matter where you're born, there's nothing wrong with being proud of where you're from, and there's nothing wrong in trying to make the best for where you're from and the best for your country. So, in people saying "Make America Great Again," is that really an issue? Or are we talking about how they want to make America great again? So I haven't dug as deep as many of you will have dug, but I don't think there's anything wrong. It's like they say, make Britain great. You know, Britain's called Great Britain. There's no, I don't understand why you don't want the best for the country that you're from or the country that you're living in. I think everyone wants the best for themselves, so why not want the best for your country?
They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then.
This is intimidation, people. This is like the old Nazi Germany with the brown
builds
shirts.
warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of
I think
me being a
Kanye said God builds warriors in a different way.
Tonight and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is going to be greenlit, and that means that they're going to beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then. You know, God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David, you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for Goliath to come, you thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter T-shirt, which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God.
This is what I was going to say, people. If you are truly... Now, I don't want to offend other people from other faiths, but if you are truly of the Christian faith and you're truly a believer in God, then you must say that all people under the eyes of God are equal. So to distinguish between black and white, man, woman, boy, girl, this, that, and the third. No, not in my remit, not on my watch, people. Trust me on this, people. All lives matter. White lives matter, black lives matter. And the issue I have with Black Lives Matter is that there is an internal strife. Remember, I keep telling you, it's all about divide and rule, divide and conquer. Black people have been killing black people. Black people have been fighting black people for centuries, whether it's over religion, whether it's over tribes, whether it's over land, whatever it is, whether it's over your woman, whether it's whatever it is. And I don't understand how you can say Black Lives Matter as a black person when you are literally destroying your neighbor, destroying your friend or so-called friend, and thinking that this is right and there's nothing wrong with it. So until you can sort that out, people, I have no truck with Black Lives Matter, because all the situations that I've incurred in my lifetime, all the bad situations, they have not been with a white person. And that is the honest truth. They've been with someone who has the same tone skin color as myself. Really? And believe me, people, I do not go out to cause trouble. So, you know, I must say that I treat everyone equally, but sometimes people think they can do something, and then they think that they can shushy because you're the same color. Say, oh, don't, oh, you can't say this, whatever. No, if you step into my zone, you step into my arena, and then you try and trouble me, then be prepared to get it back tenfold. Listen, I will never bow down to any person. No way. The only time I'll be bowed down is when I'm in my grave. So if you put me in my grave, so be it. But I will not bow down to you, and I will not kowtow to you. No way. No way, Jose. Trust me on that, people. So guys, if we are all equal under the sun, we are all equal under God, then white lives, they very much do matter. Trust me on that.
And just brilliance. You know, like as if you asked like Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin, she was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format, and that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. Like the majority of the media has a godless agenda, and
the majority of the media has a godless agenda. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Guys.
The jokes in that work, and this whole like, oh yeah, he's crazy and all these things, they don't work because the media has, you know, they've also watch travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening, and they stay quiet about it.
What have they?
I want to answer the white. Yeah. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha, 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 ha." And I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, "Dad, what do you think it was funny?" He said, just a black man stating the obvious.
So White Lives Matter. And the reason it was funny is because it's a black man stating the obvious. And that is so true, guys. I mean, I don't understand all this narrative of why they're trying to separate people. They're trying to put a wedge in between black people and white people. They're trying to cause discord between us, and I don't know the reason why. I mean, to be honest with you people, I keep telling you, the real problem is the economics that's going on. We are headed for economic oblivion. I've been saying that for a very, very, very long time. To be honest with you, I've been saying that way before I start my channel. 2015, 2016, I first saw this. It was there, it was obvious, it was on the horizon. Absolute collapse, people. And because I talk out and because I speak what I believe to be the truth, I've had so much troubles on my channel behind the scenes, so many problems. But guys, I keep saying we move forward. We move forward. Whatever they throw at us, guys, we move forward. And trust me, if you can speak your truth, speak your truth.
And, my dad doesn't listen to rap music, and he's like super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas, and he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have an Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to like take them back and compress them. Like, my dad is the most brilliant person that I know, and we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him, because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal. And my dad would see certain things and say, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children.
So guys, this is my opinion, guys. So when I see women like this, women, to me, there is an inner beauty in a woman. You don't have to see it on the outside. Not only just an inner beauty, but most women that I speak to, very intelligent people, extremely intelligent, but the wedge has been put in between men and women. So in some ways, I feel really bad, because if that's the only way that they can do to get recognized, then this society is a terrible society that we're living in, because there's more to women than just, salivating over them, etc., etc. But I also believe in freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So if this is what people want to do, then so long as they're not hurting other people, let them do it. But, I don't know. It's something that I don't look at, or I don't go out my way to look at, if that makes sense, people, so I don't know.
And this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her.
And just so you know, guys, I do not like to expose myself at all. You'll never see me topless, never. Not unless I'm in the boxing ring, and even then I'm wearing a vest, etc., etc. This is just in myself. I mean, you guys can do what you want to do. I'm not going to comment. And that's the other thing. I won't comment on what you guys do, not unless you ask me for my opinion. Then I will give you an opinion, but I will not comment on what you do. And, my personal preference is I like to keep myself covered up to a point.
So I know you give these questions, and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool.
And I am following it. So
Is this
you
Tucker
said
Carlson?
that your father said when he saw the shirt "White Lives Matter," it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So, by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that my favorite response, because I kept on thinking, like, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote "White Lives Matter" on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. 100.
Why do you think that's so? And I assume the implication is, of course, all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Absolutely.
Why do you think that would be considered controversial?
It's all about divide and rule, people.
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black.
Guys, I'm just thinking, I haven't seen this bit now, but as soon as he said that, being stripped of the colour and told us what it means to be black, etc., etc., if you put 2 babies in a room, so 3 babies, so one who is considered to be Caucasian, white, one who's considered to be black, and one who's considered to be brown, or even red, or, or potentially, as they say, yellow. I don't know if those terms are correct, but if you put these babies all in a room and you follow them and you observe them and you watch them grow up with no outside interference, so they're almost in a controlled environment, it would be interesting to see if they, now what's the word? Now, if they get drawn to each other for color of the skin or not. Because I don't think these things, people aren't born with any of these issues. it comes from without. These issues all about color, race, creed, origin, sexual orientation, this, that, and 3/3, and all the ways from here to Albuquerque, New Mexico. They're all literally seeped into our psyche. Sometimes some people might call them insidiously. I don't know.
And the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat, and his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college, he would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
There you go, people. There's no individuality in this world. In this world, I keep saying to you, on all my other reactions, you'll know that I keep saying we're individuals, people. The only thing that holds us together, they try to put us into boxes. The only thing, the common denominator, people, is that we're human beings. That's the one thing that if you put us all under one denominator, we are human beings. But apart from that, we are also individuals. So all these other boxes you put us into, the way you walk, the way you talk, how you look, how you, whatever, they're all ways to try to, put a wedge into who we are and what we are. We're human beings, people, point blank, nothing more, nothing less. So I understand that 100% what our man has just said. Oh my goodness, they try, but whose business is it? If someone wants to talk in a way they talk, then they will talk in that way. You can't stop them. But isn't that what Nazism is all about? It's trying to control people.
And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college, he would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
And then he played the kick drum in the band. So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of where everyone else was clapping their hands. And this is the most elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when my mom, when the schools suggested like the herding systems, because what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have your PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD, and she was influenced to move to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. Because, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children. And that's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. There's so many things that are put in Kim's head. They bring influencers, like no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where
Kanye speaking secrets, guys. I know a lot of stuff from the music business. Trust me on that.
Gabby came from.
Oh my gosh.
These people were practically made in a laboratory.
These are handlers and controllers, people, who literally put wedge between families.
He told me that
friends.
she was told that. You know, so many things that are put in Kim's head. You know, they bring influencers. Like, no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from. These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is, for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them, you know, like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens, or it's not that we have to agree with this, but
they're not afraid.
They're not afraid to state what their opinion is.
Yes.
Everyone, no one is God, and everyone has an opinion.
So a conversation like this is a window into a world that you don't see. So if you're familiar with West from the media, you think of him as an individual man. What you don't think about is that he is at the center of a battle, and people like him are at the center of a battle to get a message out. Mouthed by the lips of influencers like him and so many others, that extends a storyline on behalf of, well, in this case, the status quo. So there are a lot of people vying to make certain that people like him say the right things, and the consequences for not doing that are very severe. So for him to come out and say all lives matter, obviously, is a huge threat to a lot of people. Who are those people exactly? Well, we asked him, and he told us. That's next. Subscribe to the...
Oh, man, I want to hear that. I want to hear that. So this was Tucker Carlson. So he was the one who was giving the interview to Kanye West. And it wasn't just about, but it was about why he brought out the White Lives Matter shirts, T-shirts. And there was a lot of behind the scenes information that Kanye West was giving out in that. So if people can read between the lines, you can understand. I'm not going to fill those dots for you or join those dots for you, but there's a lot of stuff that I am privy to, that I know about. So yeah, it's very interesting to hear Kanye West say that, because, and what Tucker Carlson said as well was so true, because you get one image of a person, and this is the narrative that the media and all the people behind them want to give you. But when you get a chance to hear the person speak untethered, maybe should we say untethered, you know, so let loose, then you get a true indication of who that person is and what that person is about, and what the barriers to what that person can tell you or convey are. So as long as I have my channel, which probably won't be very much longer, I wouldn't be surprised after this releasing this one, you know. So I'm very careful in what I tell you people. So there's lots of stuff that I could say straight out, but I won't, or not at this stage anyway. But to be fair, it's up to you guys to make your own decisions on what you hear, what you read, and what you see. But also, it's the best thing for you guys to do your own research. But that was really interesting, and I would advocate Kanye West to say that white lives do matter, black lives matter, all people's lives matter. And my issue with Black Lives Matter is, until people in the community stop destroying other people who look like them, I don't think it's a good thing for you guys to come out with a BLM Black Lives Matter thing, because in the instances that I've had and I can document, and you know, over the years, and there was an issue that happened just before I started this channel, which was absolutely shocking, you know, to certain black people, other black people's lives certainly do not matter, not in the slightest bit. But that is a shocking thing, and it's very sad for me to say that. But guys, my point is, and I will make it until you shut me up and stop me from breathing, that all lives matter. all lives are equal. Every single person who is living and breathing on this earth is equal in the eyes of God. They're equal in my eyes. I treat everyone the same. I've met a lot of famous people. I've treated them exactly the same as I've treated someone who is, you know, another fellow human being. Treat everyone the same, treat everyone equal, and you can't really fall down. But guys, that was really interesting. That was Tucker Carlson. That was a Kanye West exclusive. Unfortunately, we've only heard half of it, which is a shame. And that was the story behind White Lives Matter shirts. I hope you liked that. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And guys, I know it's going to upset a lot of people, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. On my channel, I like to produce. I like to review. Let's say review. I don't produce anything. I like to review and to look at best in music from all around the world and to give you my reaction. And I also do like to react on topical bits and pieces from around the world, whether it's in politics, education, whether it's in recreational fun or whatever. But anything that's interesting, if I've got a chance to review it and to do a reaction, I will do it. Guys, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you look after yourselves, you look after each other, and please, guys, treat each other with respect and care. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and make certain you like, share, and you subscribe to Urb'n Barz, and make certain you come back to the next Urb'n Barz reaction, guys. Oh.